The cars are making their way into their grids just for the second race here. In the minis, we've got the R53, the Cooper S-Class there. And here is the man who will be leading the way at the front in car number 95. It is Craig Blake, and he'll be joined alongside him by car number 5 of Andrew Lamont. And then just further back, we've got the Mini Cooper Cup drivers as well, Michael Weddle leading the way there. Let's get a quick catch up with Craig Blake in the number 95 car and see what he has to say. Craig, what's the game plan going into race number 2 here?
2 words: full send.
Is there any other way in minis?
Full send, but keep it clean. So unfortunately, Jamie's had a burst fuel tank, so he's not out in this one. So it's me and Andrew. We'll show them how it's done, hopefully.
Excellent, great stuff. Best of luck. Thanks for speaking to us. Craig Blake there leading the way at the front here, and he'll have Andrew Lamont alongside him in the Mini Cooper Cup S-Class. Let's go head back to Dave Christie in the commentary box as the action's about to get underway here at Knockhill.
See the rather nervous Andy Elson wanting to rapidly make his way off the grid, and you don't blame him. A minute to go. Standing on the grid is probably the last place I'd want to be, with all of these angry little Mini Coopers and Mini Cooper S's out on the grid, as well as we see Craig Blake there on the lead. 30-second boards held out then as we get ready to go live with another race here. This is going to be, race number 6 of the afternoon. We're running about 15-20 minutes behind schedule. 5-second board held out from the starting gantry, and as if by magic, the lights come out on the starting grids. We hold our breath and away we go. The R53's off at action there, and the number 5 gets a fantastic start there out on the outside then. And it looks like actually we've just got the 2 R53s there, because it's the rest of them just making their way through just now. So there goes Michael Weddle down the hill. It is indeed just Jamie Blake and Craig Blake making their way down through with Andrew Lamont. We'll wait to see what exactly happens there. We've got a puff of smoke from one of the cars trying to hold on the bikes down into McIntyre's. But again, the 2 cars making their way up there. That is the 95 of Craig Blake and the number 5 of Andrew Lamont. So no sign then of Jamie Blake. And look at that, that's Michael Weddle. Flymo decided to cut something other than grass already on lap 1 across the gravel at the exit of Clarkson. Yeah, it's not quite the fastest way, son, around the course here, but nonetheless, my goodness me, look at that. I mean, is there anything more intimidating as a racing driver than looking at your mirror and seeing 5 cars suddenly fan out all side by side? That's exactly what Michael Weddle just had in his rear view mirror, closely followed by Chad Little. He's got the pilot himself, Neil Hose, making his way up there as well. Gordon Long, I mean, this performance this season from Gordon, this is a new driver that we're seeing here as we've got 2 wide down into Duffus Dip, and that's Gordon Long absolutely elbowing his way through there. I say elbow, and that might have been a little bit of an exaggeration because the car's actually given themselves plenty of racing room. But look at that, Gordon Long now up into 4th position. That is a stellar drive from Gordon to see him up there into that position. That drops the number 94, Ryan Smith, down into what looks like 7th position just now, as we get an idea on all of the cars coming through. That's the 65 and 22. That's Jack Irvin and Finn Marsh. As we see up the inside, that's Ian Munro trying to send it up the inside to the number 25 of Chad Little. There might have been a little bit of contact there. Chad Little trying to avoiding contact. We've now got a 3-car breakaway then. Michael Weddle in the lead of the Coopers. And there we go up the inside. That's Andrew Lamont trying to take the lead from Craig Blake. Immediately takes that lead back. My goodness me, the Coopers are making up for lost time here. Weddle gets a little bit of a break there ahead of Chad Little now, who has to worry about Ian Munro in that bright yellow car making its way round just now. Let's take you through the rest of the order then. It's currently 4th place for Neil Hose, 5th place is going to be Gordon Long as Neil Hose gets his way back up into that position just now. 94 Ryan Smith is going to be in 6th, Daniel Patterson in 7th, Chris Coburn in 8th, Jack Irvin in 9th, Finn Mash in 10th position, Ewan Robertson in 11th, Ian Hoggins in 12th position, David Taylor up into P13, Andrew Bell in P14, P15 for Ross McComb, and Stephen Morrison in P16. So the cars making their way around the hairpin then, and you see two distinct groups now. You've got the lead group of Michael Weddle and Chad Little and Ian Munro. We've got a car off into the gravel on the exit of the hairpin, gets out on again. I think that was Chris Coburn that got going again there. But as we see, Ian Munro trying to hold on to the back there of Chad Little here. And the cars come down in towards McIntyre's. Yet again, nothing, absolutely nothing separating your top three in this Mini Cooper Cup class right now. Neil Hose in pretty much no man's land. I was a little bit lost for words there, but that is where I would say that Neil Hose is right now, because he's not quite with Ian Munro and he's not quite with Gordon Long right now. So he's in a class of one. So we see the battle between Andrew Lamont and Craig Blake still going on. And the thing is that those two R53s, it's unlikely that they're going to streak off. They're likely just going to have a little bit of a gamesmanship with each other and sending it wherever they possibly can on this one. But Michael Weddle being definitely held to account here by Chad Little, as we've got 8 laps left to go in the second of the 3 Mini Cooper races. Remember, it's only the Mini Cooper Cup cars that will be out in race 3 this afternoon. The R53s, this is their final race right now. But here comes Michael Weddle down the hill at Duff, a step then chased down by Chad Little. Ian Munro still in that 3rd position in class just now, and they're bringing up Neil Hose into that fight here. So Weddle trying to hold on to the position here, but look at the 25 of Chad Little now. He's all over the gearbox of that car in front, possibly closer than he's ever been at any point during this race right now. Neil Hose definitely catching up to this group up in front. Is that going to bring Gordon Long and the rest of them up with him? I don't think so. I don't think they've got the pace to catch back up to this group here. But again, we're not seeing any dive bombs in from the likes of Chad Little or from Ian Munro. And just as I say that, Munro has a look up the outside there, and again, it's a line that doesn't get used as much as it should here at Knockhill. That outside line going right to the outside. Most of the cars you'll see, they'll tuck into the inside at that hairpin. But if you go to the outside, that means you can straighten up on the exit of that corner and get a really good run. Have a look at Ian Munro trying to have a look at the outside again of Chad Little, and Chad Little takes a bit of the curb there. That car looking very, very squirrely, oversteering, and Munro sends it up the inside. But there goes Chad Little again on the cutback. They're going to be side by side coming down through, and there's exactly almost a carbon copy of what we saw earlier on in the Fiestas. That is exactly how we see that happen. 2 cars side by side, and it's still going on as Chad Little and the 111 of Neil Hose now fighting it out as well. So Neil Hose gets ahead of Chad Little, and Chad Little is going backwards at a rate of knock now. Does Chad Little have a puncture on that front left? It looks like a little bit of damage on that car. He's losing a lot of time there. And around the outside, Gordon Long, you're kidding me. Gordon Long now challenging for a podium position. What a turn of events. Again, from speaking to David, the reason that I'm so surprised is that Gordon took a couple of seasons to get used to that car and was languishing in the likes of maybe say 8th, 9th, 10th position. Again, a very talented driver and definitely within a shout of getting a podium here, but back up into that podium position as Chad Little off to the escape road there, gets back down, but Chad Little going backwards at a rate of knots now, and that is the number 94 of Ryan Smith ahead of him. That's the number 18 of Daniel Patterson ahead of him as well. And this is a bad day, going from bad to worse as the number 65 of Jack Irvin drops behind. Wow, oh wow, you got a feel for Chad Little. He's went from hero to zero in the space of a lap. He was fighting for that lead battle, and that now leaves Michael Weddle just to fight Ian Munro just now. We're almost 3 wide, coming back down the back straight here into the hairpin there. And Chad Little really, really struggling with that car right now. You can see the number 94, Ryan Smith, getting a good exit out of the hairpin and almost able to drive by that car as if he's not here. But back with the R53s then, Craig Blake still ahead of Andrew Lamont then, and that gap is just 1/10 of a second. As I say, they are just playing with each other right now. They are having a bit of fun. There's only the 2 R53s out there, so they might as well have a little bit of enjoyment. Contact on the number 64 of, in fact the 94, excuse me, of Ryan Smith, and that was the other red card. That was the 65 of Jack Irvine, who tried to pop the car into the inside of McIntyre's there, but it wasn't to be, as we see our R53 race leaders through for the lap number 8, or lap number 7 rather, and we've got a big pile of dust at the bottom of the hill there, so that means there's been a big off there, and there you go, that's on the exit of McIntyre's and the exit of into Butcher's there. And again, gathering my breath while I'm trying to figure out exactly who that was there. We'll find out there. I wouldn't be surprised if that was either Jack Irvine, in fact Ryan Smith dropping through the order here. So we'll find out if that was any one of them. That dust still settling here at the bottom of the track here. Michael Weddle in the lead of the race with 4 laps left to go, ahead of Ian Munro and Neil Hose, who is in 3rd position by what looks like about 1.1 seconds here. Michael Weddle though gets to have a deep breath. He's happy with the gap that he's got over 2nd place of Ian Munro just now, coming out of Clarkston. And again, your race leaders then in those R53s crossing off with just 3 laps left to go here now. And we get a chance to draw our breath and watch exactly what is happening with the rest of this race here. So the cars making their way through the hairpin. Certainly the Mini Cooper Cup cars are making their way through the hairpin. We've got a black and white flag. That's going to be a driving standards flag, and I'd imagine that's going to be for track limits to one of the cars outside of the top 10 here. But Michael Weddle now still in the lead of this race. That last lap 62.7 now. Ian Munro was faster by 0.2 of a second that last lap round there, so the gap now, well, it's literally a tenth, sorry, it's just over a second between Michael Weddle and Ian Munro. But the R53s of Craig Blake and Andrew Lamont have crossed the line with just 2 laps left to go, and you see a little bit of argy party. That's David Taylor, no that's not actually, sorry, that's David Long, getting confused with these plain black liveried cars, and that's Chad Little, elbow to elbow, door to door, coming out of Clark Corner. Is the last of the late breakers into the hairpin yet again. Gordon Long's going to try and get the drive round the outside of the corner, but Chad Little is going to take that position. My goodness me, that was a bit of a dramatic end to that scrap there, but it might not all be over yet. You can see them coming down through the picture there, coming into Duffus Dip here. Epic race here. Here's your Cooper Cup leader right now, Michael Weddle, ahead of the yellow car of Ian Munro in the number 23. And again, Jack Irvine doing a brilliant job actually to get himself up into P5 right now, involved in this little battle here. As you see, the number 30 ahead of Gordon Long. Now, Gordon losing a little bit of pace there to Chad Little right in front, and starting to go a little bit backwards on the edge of losing out to that 4th position. In fact, losing out that 5th position, excuse me, to the 6th place of Jack Irvine. You can see the triple 3 there in front. That's Ewan Robertson, and we get put a lap down there from Craig Blake and Andrew Lamont, coming into Clark Corner, because this, ladies and gentlemen, is the final lap of the race. Your R53s have already made it round, and that's a 2.5 up the inside. And then remember, of course, that's a Cooper Cup car that he's sending it up the inside of. But these are your 2 R53s. It would have been more exciting if it was Andrew Lamont sending it from about 200 miles backwards, but it's going to be a race win for Craig Blake. 2nd place for Andrew Lamont in the R53s. And we wait for about another 20 seconds to see Michael Weddle fighting it out with Ian Munro. Is he going to take the checkered flag? I think he's too far ahead of Ian Munro for it to make any difference whatsoever. Neil Hose again looking very good in that third position. And you always get worried when you're watching this angle leading up to the line. You hear the squeal of brakes. But exiting from the corner is going to be another win for Michael Weddle. And it's going to be second place for Ian Munro. Third place is going to be Neil Hose. Fourth place then for Chad Little. Disaster recovery there for Chad. Gordon Long in 5th position, Jack Irvin in 6th, Daniel Patterson in 7th, Ryan Smith in 8th, Finn Marsh in 9th, Chris Coburn in 10th position, Ian Hoggins in 11th, Ross McComb in 12th position there. In fact, Ross McComb taking 11th there on the final lap. Ian Hoggins down to 12th position, Ewan Robertson into 13th position, Andrew Bell in 14th, David Taylor in 15th, and Stephen Morrison down in 16th position. So my goodness me, we get a chance to breathe, a chance to take in what we've just seen there. Up next is going to be the return of the Scottish Classic Sports and Saloons for another 12-lap race. But that was the Scottish Mini Cooper Cup in association with Project 21 Detailing, supported by Yokohama Tyres and Wheels Around as well. The car's making their way out of the hairpin then to go into pit lane. And we're just a couple of minutes away from crossing into our holding area with Andy Alston. And I tell you what, I feel like I've aged by about 2 years after that race. Such was the level of excitement and the level of franticness. A lot of interest about the Formula Ford race. That is going to be up after the Classic Sports and Saloon car race. But as the cars make their way around, time to head over then to the holding area with Andy Alston. And Andy, another brilliant race with the minis there, the R53s off like a shot there, but Michael Weddle taking another race win.
Absolutely, that was quite entertaining, wasn't it? Fantastic action once more in the minis. And the R53 Mini Cooper S Cup, it is the number 95 car of Craig Blake who takes the win from Andrew Lamont in car number 5. And the Mini Cooper Cup, it's the reigning champion Michael Weddle making it 2 for 2 so far this afternoon, with one more race still to come. But let's get a quick catch up with our race winner in the R53 Mini Cooper S-Class, Craig Blake, who joins us now. Craig, you promised full send and he gave us just that. Some great action once more at the front.
Fantastic race, really clean. Andrew was lightning quick. Yeah, really clean racing, really enjoyed that race, and both cars are home in one piece, which is the main thing. So let's do it again all in May time, I think. So let's go round 2.
And a great start to your season. You can't ask for any more, really. It just gives you that confidence to take into the next event as well.
Yeah, like I say, it's the first round in the new car and the Cooper S. 2 wins, pole position, Grand Slam. Let's do it all again. No, but hopefully we'll see more cars on the grid as well, so that's what we want. So definitely, thank you.
Great stuff. Well done, Craig. Great drive.
Cheers.
Craig Blake there, our winner in the R53 car Mini Cooper S-Class category, making it 2 for 2. Great start to his campaign. Also a great start to campaign for this man, Michael Weddle, reigning champion in the Mini Cooper Cup. It's been a really good race from him, and we'll catch up with him in a few moments' time and get his thoughts on that race. Let's catch up with a couple of other drivers now, and let's catch up with Finn Marsh here in the number 22. Finn, great drive out there. Many congratulations. Welcome to the SMRC as well, of course. How are you finding things so far?
It's all good. A lot of fun with the Mini. Good races, hard races, all good.
And why was it that you wanted to join the Mini Championship in particular?
In Germany, without Minis, it's not funny. Yes, good, big grid, it's all good. Yeah.
Absolutely. And what's your thoughts going into the next event? You're just continuing to grow in confidence and take that with you into the next race?
Learn, and yeah, win races. And yeah.
Great stuff. And thanks very much for speaking to us, and best of luck.
No problem.
Finn Mash there in the number 22 car. Lovely livery on that car as well. Very, very well designed. Let's get a quick word with our race winner again in the Mini Cooper Cup. It's 2 for 2 for our reigning champion, Michael Weddle. Michael, 5 very close laps to start. Then you got a little bit of a gap as the cars behind began to scrap. That let you focus on apexes and exits. But then a bit of a close finish to that one as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ian made a move on Chad and it gave me a bit of a gap, and then when you see the laps counting down, you like don't do any mistakes. So you just start taking it easy. You basically manage the gap a little bit, yeah. So took it easy in the last 2 laps. Didn't want to break a suspension or anything along those lines in the last lap, smashing off curbs, so took it a bit easy.
Having said that, when you see it on the live feeds and you see these cars going into Duffus and the Minis, it's 2 wheels, it's quite spectacular to say the least.
Yeah, you feel it inside the car, and the cars get a proper bar in, so it's just a case of when you've got that gap, it's a case of just managing it. So no, quite happy to get 2 wins out of 2, and we'll see what happens with the reverse grid race.
And yeah, you always enjoy the reverse grid race as well. It's a chance to kind of make a few moves and everything else.
Yeah, it's a completely different scenario to what I just had there, so it's a bit like the first race where you've got to make some moves. So no, I like the reverse grid race, it's always good fun. I always seem to pull number 8, so I'm going to call it right now. I'll probably pull number 8 out of that.
Great stuff. Michael, thanks for speaking to us, and best of luck for race number 3.
Cheers, thank you.
Michael Weddle, our reigning champion.